Good day or good evening, whatever it is where you are currently while you are watching this video. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Welcome in if you're new. Welcome back if you are not new. First off, I want to say thank you also about all of these wonderful high vibrational comments that I've been getting on my videos. It's amazing. This community is amazing, and you are amazing people with amazing energies, by the way. And that's what I'm going to talk about next. I've been tapping in meditation before starting this reading, and I was approached by somebody's energy who is calling themselves a shapeshifter. But a shapeshifter in the best way possible. And I was also shown the depiction of a chameleon, and then was explained to how your energy is like the chameleon, in the sense of when you picture the chameleon and you see it, like it when it changes its environment, it's able to change its skin to match whatever background it's sitting on or standing on, climbing on. And yet it's able to stay true to its own form, right? So its form stays true, but it's able to make itself appear to be something else. Very cool energy. And so I'm going to go ahead and tap into your energy currently and see, essentially, what would you like to tell yourself, Mr. or Mrs. Shapeshifter? This is very intriguing. And I got my Sacred Symbols cards out because I have no idea where to even start. And that's usually how it is. You just have no idea where to start. But I'm speaking to a shapeshifter. And this is how you are navigating your own reality, too, is what I'm hearing. Is that, like, one day you can look and act some way because you're in some environment, and then the next day it's like the flip of a coin. You're able to, like, morph into someone else. But you're staying true to yourself at the same time. And this is how you're navigating right now. And it's working. It's definitely working. It's pretty cool. So, what would you like to tell yourself in this case? We've got fire. 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 Full moon. Something about an actual, like, fire. Like, maybe this past full moon, the beaver moon that we had recently. Maybe you were sitting around a bonfire or something, or there was something about a fire. Maybe that's just confirmation for you that this message is for you. What about this fire by the full moon? Well, that's a lot. That's a lot. I knocked one of these over. Let's see what this says. We've got the mentor. Oh, look at, there's fire in there too. With the owl. Interesting. It fits right over the full moon. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it there just because I feel like it. Put it right there. I'm hearing that this is something that you don't normally admit to people around you. And I understand why. Because, you don't want to sound... You don't want to be put in a loony bin or anything, right? But this is just something that you know within yourself that you can do, and you do it well. And it's not really something that you go around gloating about, though. You're not like big-headed about it. Talisman. I heard working the energies through a talisman. A good fortune talisman. Maybe you're making a talisman right now to bring in good fortune. Power. Interesting. Alright. So we've got fire, we've got the full moon, we've got a talisman here, we've got good fortune and power. Let's start with those. And then, of course, the mentor with the owl and the fire underneath it. I'm kind of like curious what that mentor card says in the book. Maybe I'll go ahead and read that real quick. Alright, I found it. The mentor, it reads, "It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall." Wow, that's cool. Look at that. There it is right there. There's that waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. An overwhelming force, right? Power. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. And this is probably how you're using that. You're using that like shapeshifter chameleon energy to teach others around you. Interesting. That is you're a very interesting person. It goes on to say, the mentor may appear aloof or available. See, there it is right there. Aloof. You can appear aloof one minute and then available the next. Harsh or tender. Humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets his humble link and mistakes himself for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. Interesting. So don't forget that humbleness, because you did. You just told me, you were like, I stay humble about it. I don't go out there and tell everybody that I'm doing this. This is something just for me, and I know that I have this power within me, and I use it, but I don't use it and shove it in people's faces. So that's good. Stay humble like that. That's the proper way of using it. You don't want to fall into those shadows too far. There's nothing wrong with falling in shadows, but as long as they're being treated properly, right? And then over here, this is a tiny little book. On the other side right here, it says, when in light, focused, clear, bright, remains a student. Even though it's a mentor, it remains a student. Because we're always learning, right? And when in the dark, we're self-serving, envious of youth, righteous, rigid. And then go deeper, the riddles of Zen masters and their students. So going deeper in a study, you can study the riddles of the Zen masters. Maybe you do that already. So anyways, yeah, you're just talking about that balance, that, and that humbleness. And using it to your advantage, using it but to the best of your ability, but also not being gloaty about it. Yeah? Maybe you're like showing me this necklace right now with this talisman card. Maybe it's something that it's a wire wrapped crystal. It's really cool looking. I don't know if you did that or if you had it made for you or something. But that crystal was charged with some kind of energy from like your auric field. But you're showing it to me, you're like holding it up and it's like shining in the light. It's really pretty. So yeah, maybe that's like some little bit extra confirmation for you. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab some more of these. See if you have anything else to tell yourself here. Shapeshifter chameleon. Yes. He said yes. Yes, I do. The self-apocalypse. Interesting. So I flipped over to these cards in the book, the self, what really jumps out at me is the words in red here where it says, observing, it's talking about observing yourself navigating the world, and an attempt to see the you behind the you, which is really interesting. Taking into consideration of this chameleon energy, taking the you that's behind the you. In the Apocalypse card, that one's talking all about like something that was really painful and difficult for you to go through. It was like a tearing back of the psyche and getting down to like a really painful truth. But it's also speaking of like a regeneration. How does it put it? A regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. It says that right here. And that's super cool. So I'm seeing here that you're observing the way that you have navigated something that was very difficult for you personally. And it kind of took you by surprise because you are this like shapeshifter, chameleon, archetype of person and considered a mentor, and you weren't really expecting this like apocalyptic thing to happen, a truth to reveal itself to you, and it really took you aback. It took you really having to reassess how you're navigating, and just like the self says, an attempt to see the you behind the you. Wow. So you definitely went through something very difficult recently. Probably. Otherwise, why would you be talking about it, right? You're funny too. You got a good sense of humor. You're like super laid back, but like this thing totally caught you off guard. This, whatever this is here, this apocalyptic thing that just like ripped off your psyche and exposed your third eye to so many truths that were just so shocking. I am going to go ahead and reach for, I think I'm going to do the wild mystic animal cards here and see if there's anything else about this. Alright, let's see. We've got wisdom, and wisdom is definitely carried by the mentor here. This apocalyptic situation that happened had you questioning your wisdom at some point. You were like, man, am I actually like doing something wrong here? Am I understanding something wrong? Like you were literally questioning yourself, but now, now that it's done and over and you're past this, you're kind of laughing at the fact that you questioned your wisdom, because it was your wisdom that you used in order to get back to the self behind the self. Basically, you like shapeshifted that shit. You did. You used your wisdom. You questioned your wisdom, but then you used it, even though you were questioning it. And you had courage while you're doing it. This is you. This is the lion. Maybe you're a Leo. Yeah? Maybe. There's all kinds of gods and goddesses out there that resonate with the lion as well. But you had courage in your wisdom. You used it. You used what you knew. You're like, you know what? I know I am a powerful person. And I can change this. I can change this. You ended up causing rebirth. There was a huge rebirth happening. A rebirth of the self behind the self happened. So possibly all this, maybe this just happened. The full moon. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. It was like the beaver moon that was just passed. I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks ago maybe? I don't know. Dates, what are they? Time is not real. You know what I mean? I have a hard time telling what day, what time it is anymore. Anybody else out there have that problem? I sure do. Like today, this is a timeless message, but today is the 13th, and I went all day thinking it was the 12th. So, please let me know I'm not alone in that. What else? What else does a shapeshifter chameleon want to talk about with this? They established a rebirth using the wisdom that they already knew they had. Found the self behind the self again. While I'm sitting here, just kind of shuffling the deck, my eye went to the snake on the rebirth card. And, dare I say, did this apocalyptic truth, did it cause you to have like a second Kundalini? Like a second Kundalini rising. That's what I'm hearing. Like you had a very powerful first one and you thought that was it, you know? You thought that was like the end all be all, but this triggered like a second Kundalini awakening for you. Wow, that's amazing. It changed the way you communicate too. That changed the way you communicate with people around you. With maybe the students that you're working with or whoever you're teaching. I don't know why, but you're showing me going to like different public places and like talking to all kinds of different kind of people. And being able to adapt to each individual person based off of what their energy is. And being able to give them hidden, like, profound messages. Just, like, nonchalantly. That's what this, like, second Kundalini really helped you do. Is, like you're testing the waters by going out and, like, talking to random people. And whatever your guides or ancestors, whoever you work with, whatever comes through you, you deliver without questioning. And you don't even really realize you're doing this until after, you know, a while and you kind of think about what was said and everything, and then you're like, oh crap, that was actually like pretty profound. Wow. Like you impressed yourself. That's cool. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, now you're reminding me. Okay. Yeah, that is right. I did. I picked up my book. Just my tarot book. I've never used it. It was just pretty and I bought it. But you wanted me to randomly flip to a page and now you're reminding me. Yeah, but so all of this is leading up to the fact that you had me go to page 108. Okay, and what's on 108 is the Six of Wands. That's a victory. So you're super stoked about this victory over this apocalyptic thing that happened to you. For sure. For sure. And I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you too. Congratulations. Congratulations on that. Alright, before I wrap this up, something's telling me to go ahead and grab you one of my Mystics Imaginarium oracles to see what comes out for you for a final message. For a final message on this super cool shapeshifter chameleon energy. It was really cool. You kind of taught me some things here too within your message. Of like how you can kind of blend into your surroundings but still stay true to yourself at the same time. Not changing your form, but being able to blend in with the people around you. Really, is what it is. And being able to read the energy of the room and take action accordingly to that. Thank you. Alright, your Mystic Imaginarium card is Redefine Your Self-Concept. Interesting. Card number 11. It's a beautiful card. You got the eyeball up there. You got the moon. There's that full moon, right? There it is. There's that full moon. 6 roses Seeing 6 roses. I've also been seeing like this in my third eye recently. You know that, I think it's Leonardo da Vinci's painting. Correct me if I'm wrong, please do. Don't roast me though, be nice. But anyways, that painting of, you know, the hands reaching out, the God hand reaching out. Yeah, maybe I'll put the picture in, so I'll put the picture in when I'm editing. I guess I'll put this here. This is what we're ending on. I'll go ahead and grab the book and read to you what your oracle card message is. It says, everything we do unaccompanied by a change of consciousness is but a futile readjustment of surfaces. However much we toil and struggle, we can receive no more than our concept of self allows. So that's very interesting, yeah. Like a chameleon would totally say something like that, huh? Yeah, we can receive no more than our concept of self allows. That really makes sense. Card number 11 is a highly significant card in this beautiful deck, as it emphasizes the power we hold within our personal reality. At its core, this card emphasizes an immutable truth. We cannot alter our external reflections without first transforming our internal selves. Okay, chameleon, I see you. The crux of the matter lies in recognizing that our self-concept wields unparalleled influences over our subjective reality. When you pull this card, it implies that you might have been mistakenly giving too much power to outside relationships and situations. Maybe that's what this truth is here. By dethroning external factors and elevating our self-concept, our three-dimensional reality inevitably aligns with this newfound internal perspective, finding the self behind the self, right? Thus ushering in transformative change. I mean, the chameleon's all about transformation, too. When you pull this card, you are being guided to ask, what relationships or reflections have been bothering you recently? And it says, please take out your journal and write a stream of consciousness to answer this question. Remember, if you're facing challenging situations, don't focus on fixing external circumstances. Instead, work on improving your self-concept. So, you know, I'm just going to say, if you're right in the middle of this right now, that's what your advice would be, you know. And if you're finally outside of this is what you have learned. It says Neville, which is I don't know who that is, actually. She shares a story to illustrate this. A woman had a difficult relationship with her boss. Neville asked if she spoke negatively about him in her mind, and she admitted she did. He coached her to change her inner dialogue, affirming that he was a wonderful boss who valued her contribution. Soon, her boss's attitude changed towards her, leading to a promotion. See, that is all about how the shapeshifter chameleon works. For sure. For sure. That's amazing. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. Thank you guys so much for being here once again. Thank you for all the wonderful comments and the love. I truly, truly appreciate it. I truly feel like I finally found my home. I finally found my voice. And it's amazing. Alright. I love you. Okay, bye.